The Indian struggle for independence was not a sudden uprising, but a long and complex movement shaped over centuries. It began with resistance against colonial exploitation, but over time it evolved into a broad-based demand for full self-rule. By the late 19th century, as British economic policies crippled Indian industries and famines swept across the land, a new generation of Indians began to question the legitimacy of colonial rule. Leaders like Dadabhai Naoroji, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Gopal Krishna Gokhale laid the intellectual and political groundwork. The formation of the Indian National Congress in 1885 was one such step. Initially seen as a platform for polite dialogue with the British, but eventually growing into a force that would challenge the empire itself. As the movement matured in the early 20th century, it found fresh energy with the arrival of Mahatma Gandhi, who brought mass mobilization and nonviolent resistance into the heart of Indian politics. But even within this broad movement, there were multiple ideologies. Some believed in negotiation and non-cooperation, while others felt that real change would only come through direct action, even revolution. It was in this charged environment, when India was waking up to both hope and hardship, that a boy was born in the city of Cuttack, in Bengal Presidency, on January 23, 1897. His name was Subhas Chandra Bose. Subhas was the ninth child of Janakinath Bose, a prominent lawyer, and Prabhavati Devi, a deeply religious mother. The Bose family was well respected, financially comfortable and firmly rooted in Indian tradition, yet open to modern education. Subhas grew up in a household where discussions about law, justice, and the British Raj were common, and this early exposure shaped his worldview. He was educated at Ravenshaw Collegiate School in Cuttack, where he was a brilliant student, known for his discipline and sharp intellect. Later, he moved to Calcutta for higher studies at Presidency College and then at Scottish Church College, where his interest in philosophy deepened. But even as he excelled academically, the growing nationalist environment around him left a lasting impression. The partition of Bengal in 1905, the protest movements that followed, and the brutal suppression of dissent all stirred something within the young Bose. After completing his degree in philosophy, Bose followed the path many elite Indian families aspired to. He traveled to England in 1919 to appear for the Indian Civil Services examination. He passed with distinction, ranking 4th overall. But this apparent success only deepened his personal conflict. The more he learned about British colonial administration, the more he realized he could not serve an empire that ruled over his people. In a decision that shocked both his family and the colonial establishment, Subhas Chandra Bose resigned from the ICS in April 1921, even before formally joining. It was a bold and irreversible move, one that marked his transition from a scholar to a freedom fighter. From that moment on, Subhas dedicated himself entirely to India's independence. But his approach would not always align with the mainstream leaders of the Congress. He admired Gandhi, but was not convinced by passive resistance. He respected constitutional methods, but believed they would not be enough to break the chains of colonial rule. He was young, determined, and had already shown that he was willing to sacrifice personal comfort for a greater cause. In the coming years, Subhas Chandra Bose would rise rapidly through the ranks of the nationalist movement, winning admiration for his integrity, his vision, and his fearless opposition to British imperialism.